Hi team, welcome to another session of Learning Asana with Leah Success. Today, we're going to talk about portfolio management. And what that means in Asana is that we'll be talking about two very important features, teams and portfolios. Now, imagine you're a team that throws events. You're an events team that throws events across the country. You are throwing events in Boston, in New York, in LA, in San Francisco, and each of those events represent a project. Now, you have tasks in those projects that bubble up to that project and make it a full project where you have to do the work to throw the event. Now, let's imagine all of those events need to be tracked. We need to know the status of each event. Maybe we have multiple events happening at the same time. Now we will need to view them from a portfolio level. So we have portfolios, projects, and tasks. Now in Asana, we also have a concept of teams, and teams can serve as a place to have multiple people and multiple projects in them. So we'll review teams and then we'll review portfolios. And before I go forward, I will say that portfolios is actually my favorite feature in Asana. I heart portfolios. My spicy take is that portfolios is where all your work should exist. You should have each project in a portfolio organized and shareable with other folks who are working on those projects. Now, that said, Asana has made some improvements to its teams features, and that's making that take a little less spicy. And I would even say if you want to work through teams, that could be a way that you work through them. But enough of me talking. Let's go and look at the different features. So to access our teams, we want to scroll in the left navigation all the way to the bottom to teams. I'm going to go to the staff teams and I'm going to take you through all of those tabs and the different features. I will come back to the overview, so I'll start off with members. Members is where you could see all of the folks who are on your team. Now, this is where you will see them if they're a member or if they're an admin. Now, in this situation, you will see that I am a team admin and I can manage the team membership and the settings. Now, the next tab we have is the All Work tab. And this is where you can see all of your projects that are in this team. Now, you can have private projects that allow you to just share that project with someone else. But the takeaway is that every project in Asana belongs to a team. So we have projects and we have templates and they belong to a team. Now, if you are a member of the team and the project is public, you'll be able to see it even if you are not on it. As we can see here, we have a few projects here that have certain folks on it. This has 2 people on it. This has 4 people on it, or maybe even more. And we will still be able to access those projects even if we're not an active member of the project, but we are a member of the team. Now, what that means is that I see teams as a home, right? It's a home, it's where you live permanently, you have your projects, you have your people there, and you can think of your projects as a room, right? And you still have access to the entire home. And if you want to go to the room, you might knock in it and then see who's in there, and then you go and visit. So it is your home. Well, I would say your portfolio is like a club. It's not your home, but it's a club with different, different rooms and different places where you can visit. So that's it. Let's go to the next tab. The messages tab, this is where you can send a message to all of the members on the team. I won't go into it too much, but this is where if you want to send a message to the entire team, instead of writing it on each project or sending it to a group of people and creating a blank message and adding folks there, you can send it to the entire team. Next, we have the calendar. This is where you can see all of the tasks and the projects for the team. This is organized by month, so you can see the different months. If I choose next period, I'll see the next month. And we have the ability to turn weekends on or off. Hopefully you're not working on the weekends, but if you are, you can see them here. Now, we have a couple more tabs here, and I'm going to go through them. First, if you click the plus tab, it will add a notes tab. And this is where you can add different notes. You can add resources. You can add links to different things. It's a fully rich text formatted notepad, and you can add lots of different notes here. And then lastly, or second to last, we'll come to the knowledge tab. Now, the knowledge tab is where you can add your company specific or team specific words or acronyms or language, anything that you would want folks to be able to highlight. I think of this as a wiki or a glossary. Really, this is where you can add different entries here. I've added one entry, ARR. If you wanted to add a new one, you just click on new entry and you'll be able to add a new one. Now, imagine I get assigned a task. I'm going to go to this task here. I get assigned a task that says review estimated ARR, and I have no idea what ARR is. And I say, what is ARR? Let me fix this here. What is ARR? And I send this over. What I will get is ARR will be highlighted here, and I'll be able to see what ARR means because I have created in that knowledge tab. If I go back here, I have created this entry in the knowledge tab, ARR. So now I can easily see what ARR is. If I were to create another entry here, I would also see that when I write that out. So give it a try. Now I'm going to bring us back to the overview tab, and this is where we're going to see the latest enhancements to the overview tab has made it rival the portfolios really well. So let me collapse this here so we can have the entire view of the overview tab. In the overview tab, this is where you can create new projects and you can create new templates, and they will automatically be added to the all work tab. But you can also organize your work here by adding curated work here. So let's imagine I throw my events, and my events are conferences, and I wanted to add work. I can add a link here. I can attach a file here, but I'm going to link my existing projects. I'm going to call this, let's see which project I want to add here. Let's go, I have a tour in Tokyo. Let's add that. And I'm going to call it Tokyo Conference. All right. And I'm going to add this work here, and you see this section has been created. I can add conferences here, and I can add another piece of work here. And let's say we have another event here, Dublin, and I'm going to add, let's call this Dublin Conference. All right. And I can add this here, and I can add another section here. So we have conferences, and maybe we have workshops. Right. So this allows us to organize our work. This is pretty powerful. You can organize the work so you can see the work that is the most important. And this is something that was missing in the past from Asana's all work section. In the all work tab, you had lots of different projects. You didn't know which one was important, which ones weren't important. They weren't organized in any way, shape, or form. And the overview tab now allows you to do a little bit of that. Now, we are going to make our way to portfolios. Again, my favorite feature. And I think portfolios is a lot more robust in terms of being able to organize your work. And I would think that, Asana would separate the two features and say portfolios is for managing portfolios and making sure that you understand what's going on and the status of your work and your projects, while here there's some organization so that you can quickly access what's most important to you. So let's make our way to portfolios. If we want to go to portfolios, we're going to bring a sidebar back. We're going to go here to Insights, Portfolios. So here I've clicked portfolios. I have a few portfolios here. I'm going to go to the all projects portfolio. As you can see, this all projects portfolio is not yet starred, indicated by this empty star, and it's not under the starred portfolio section, but you can easily do that by clicking on the star. It will add it here. It will also add it to your starred section, and you'll be able to easily navigate to it. So now I'm going to go to my all projects portfolio, and here I have all of my projects. And as I said, if you think of Teams as your house, Think of portfolios as a club where you're invited to this club based on your uh, based on your affiliation with I guess the theme of what's happening there. If we bring it back to Asana terms, which may be easier to understand in my club metaphor, this is where you organize your projects by theme. So your projects are organized by theme or by a topic or by a region, right? If we start thinking about that, or even a timeline. And this is where you will organize the projects and you'll be able to bring folks in based on their work. So, what does that mean? Who is this important to? This is really important to cross functional projects. If we are working on a cross functional project, we are launching a new feature, a new product. We need to get legal involved, product, marketing, sales. All of those folks need to be involved. You'll want to create a portfolio. Why? All of those different folks might live in different teams, and they need to be able to come to one place and find all of the work that's relevant to them. In addition, you can give folks access to a portfolio and have them only see some of the projects and not all of the projects. I'll show that to you in a few seconds. But this is really a place where you can collaborate on different projects. You can look at projects that go across different functions, and you can organize them as well. So let's go ahead and talk about permissions, because I think this is a very powerful thing with portfolios. Now, I've created this portfolio. I'm the only person in this portfolio. I'm going to hit share. And when I go to share this portfolio, let's say I'm going to share this with Jamie Staples here. I'm going to add Jamie here. I'm going to invite Jamie. But before I do that, I have the ability to give Jamie access to all of the projects in this portfolio where I'm a project admin. This is pretty cool because what it does is that it invites Jamie to projects that are across different teams. Now, Jamie might have one home team or multiple home teams where Jamie's part of those teams and can have access to all the public projects there, but Jamie might not be part of all the teams. And if we have a big cross-functional project like releasing a new product that will change the company, Jamie needs to have access to a lot of projects that may not be part of the teams that she's in. So here I would say give Jamie access to all of the projects where I'm a project admin, and I would invite Jamie. And before I invite Jamie, I could give Jamie different access: editor access to the portfolio. This is not to the projects. Viewer access to the portfolio, or portfolio admin access. Now, Jamie is a rock star and is going to be my main helper here. So I'll give Jamie portfolio admin access and invite her. So here we go. And that's a little bit about permissions. Now, the next thing we want to talk about is these different tabs. They're all pretty powerful and pretty useful. And as a heads up, I'm not going to go into all of them in detail. As I said at the start of the video, portfolios warrant multiple videos. There's going to be a video that's more about strategy, how you use portfolios, but this next section, I will show you the different parts of it. Now, side note, I really do feel like to get the most out of Asana, you need to learn the features first or be familiar with them, right? I like to tell folks it's not chicken or the egg, it is chicken or egg, but it's chicken, right? You want to start with knowing the platform, knowing the features, knowing how to navigate around it, and then we can start talking about the strategy. That really makes it a lot easier for you to consume. It's like trying to learn calculus, but not really knowing numbers, not really knowing algebra, which is fundamental, not really knowing multiplication or division. You get the idea. It's great to know how the different things work and then put them together. First thing we'll talk about here in the list view are these different columns here. So we have this column, the name, that's the name of the project. I was very creative here. Project 1, 2, 3, 4. We have status. This tells us if our project is on track or off track. And the portfolio itself can have a status. You can see that you can set a status for the portfolio. So we'll look at that when we go to the progress tab. We have due date, we have owner, we have category, and then we have some different fields that we could bring on. So let me go ahead and hit this customize button here. Now, if I hit this customize button, it will show me that I have 12 fields that have already been added to this project. And we can see them all here. Even though we are not seeing 12 columns in the background, I'll show you how to bring them to light. We have our rules. There are no rules here. When we do a deep dive in portfolios, we'll talk about the rules and how they can be pretty helpful. And then lastly, we have project templates. I'm a big fan of adding project templates to portfolios. It gives folks guidance to where they should start when they are adding work for initiative or a big engagement that the company or the organization is taking on. All right, so let's leave here. Let's collapse this customize button. Here we have in the options view, we have the ability to see which columns we've added. So here we can update the name of the list view if we'd like. We have the ability to see what's being hidden. Remember, we had 12 different custom fields added to this portfolio, yet only some of them are showing. And here we can see which ones are being held back. So we have milestone progress, we have duration being held back, being hidden, I should say. And then we have some others as well. So if I wanted to add team, I can go ahead and unhide team. And now we'll be able to see team added here. These are all from the staff team. If I wanted to hide it back, I can say, all right, this is all on the same team. And I know that I'm going to go ahead and hide this column. Now, if I want to add an additional column or custom field here, I am going to hit this plus sign here and add the custom field that I would like to add. Now, since I've already created this custom field before this video, I'm going to choose it from the library, and it's going to be quarter. So the 2026 quarter, I've added these custom fields here. So now I can add some here. Now, imagine I have these different projects and I'm trying to think which quarters are they going to be active in. I'll say this one's active quarter 1 and quarter 2. This one is active quarter 2 and quarter 3. This one is only active quarter 3. And this one is only active quarter 4. So we can see these different custom fields or labels being attached to these different projects. Now, a really nice thing about these custom fields, if they are shared, and I'm going to go here and hit the edit field, if they are shared in the library, you can use them on portfolios, in portfolios, so they're being used on the project, and you can use them in the projects themselves. So if we have this project here, project 4, I could go into this project, and then here I can also add that same custom field 2026 quarter because that custom field has been shared on the library. So this is pretty cool. Let's come back here to the list view. And the last thing I'll talk about here is the group feature. If I hit the group button here, I have the ability to group this work by different custom fields here. Now, let's say I choose status. This is very common here. I want to see all my work that's on track, my at-risk work, and my off-track work. Maybe this is what I always want to see. I'm going to hit Save View. Now, if I hit Save View here, no matter where I go outside this portfolio, when I come back, that view will be the same. Now, imagine I want to see it another way. I want to group it a different way and not by status. I'm going to remove that, and I want to group it actually by quarter. I can see it grouped by quarter. And what's really cool about this, because project 1 spans over 2 quarters, Q1 and Q2, it will show up under both quarters. So we could see it there under both, and we can see it's been grouped Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Now, if I decided that Q4 also, project 4, sorry, is also going to be part of Q3, I I can just add it here and you will see it will show up under Q3 as well. Now let's say I'm not really looking at this view. It's not as great for me. I can just remove it. And then the last view I'm going to do is by category. Again, I was very creative with these categories 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's say we have project 1 is no longer in category 2, it's in category 1. It will show up here. And unlike our multi-select custom field, which is this one where you could choose multiple quarters, our single select, they will go under 1. You could see them here. So that's what we would do here. We can talk about grouping forever. I'm gonna go on to the next tab, but this is a pretty nice view for me. Maybe that has replaced my view of seeing the at-risk tab, and I'm going to save the view. Now in our timeline, what we have is the ability to see our projects at a high level. We're able to see the project name, the project owner, the status, and we're able to see the milestones. So instead of seeing all of the tasks that are part of this project, we'll see the milestones to the important task. I'll show you an example here. I'm going to look at the 2 milestones in project 1. I can see the milestones phase 1, phase 2. I can see how we are progressing. So now I'm going to collapse that here so we can see that. If you want to have a different view, maybe you want to see the name of the project instead of Jamie Staples' name on this bar here, I can go ahead and click options and go to layout options. And here I can decide what's shown in the bar. Maybe I want to see the name of the project, especially if I have a project with a long name or a name that's important to see, we can have that added here. So we can see that here. And here we have our project date. We'll use project 4 again. Our project date, as we can see, is March 15 to the 22nd. If I were to go into the project, I can edit that here in my project settings. I can change the date here, but it's also pretty cool that we can change the date in our timeline view. So I can just go ahead and drag this out and say we're going to wrap this up at the end of June. So now I can see that has been updated and it's going to update everywhere. Next, we're going to go into the dashboard. The dashboard, we're not going to spend a lot of time in it, but what you are able to see in the dashboard is all of the information that's relevant to the projects that are in this portfolio. This is a super powerful feature. It demands its own video as well. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. But what this does is having a dashboard in a portfolio, as opposed to having a dashboard that exists on its own, you automatically filter for the work that's in the portfolio. So this is a pretty cool feature, and we will spend some time on it on a separate video. Next, we have our progress. This also warrants its own video. I feel like I'm going to make a ton of videos after this. This also warrants its own video. However, let me talk about how it's really important. This is how we can set the status for the project. So we can set the status here, and we can also set it here in the progress tab. So I'm going to update the status and quickly show you what's available here. We can talk about how we set statuses, why we set statuses, and how we can use some of Asana's AI features to help us draft statuses a lot faster. But for today, what we'll talk about are the different sections here. We have different sections that you can alter, and you can add some information. You have some pre-made charts that you can bring into your work. Let's say we add this portfolio health chart here. We can have some insights into the work. Now, the last thing I'll add with the statuses and all the statuses in Asana, the only thing that you need to update is the status. Is the status drop down here? Let's say you didn't want to add too many details. You just want to let folks know that it's on track. You can just do that, and then you will post it. Now, that will bring us straight to our message tab. This message tab automatically displays the statuses that have been added to our project, to our portfolio. And this message tab similar to a project message tab or a Teams message tab. You can message all of the members in the portfolio and send them information in addition to the status that you have here. So while we're not going to go through the workload feature in detail, I will point out what it does. So the workload feature allows you to see how much work someone has. You can see it by task count or by any numerical value. So task count is one option. We have hours. If you use hours is another option. And you have points if you want to create a point system. As you can see here on this date, we have someone has one task. And as it goes on throughout the week, we're able to see how many tasks they have for the week and for the month. Now, while we won't go into details on the best practices for a workload feature, this is a good place to show you how to zoom in and zoom out. There are a few features in Asana, including the timeline that has the zoom in and the zoom out function, and this is a good place to see it. So if we have days small, as you can see here, we can see all of the days, how much work folks have by day. Maybe that's not as useful to you. You're saying, okay, I don't want to know how many tasks they have by days. I want to know how many tasks they have in a week. You can click this filter here and have weeks. And here you can say, okay, there are a total of 25 tasks. I see Amy has 4 of them for this week. I see Hannah has 6 of them, and I can see other folks' tasks. And maybe that's still too granular for you. You're able to see them in months. You have a large month, and this will show you about 2 months, depending on your screen size, 2 to 3 months. And if you want to do months small, I'm going to skip medium. We can see the work that goes across multiple months. So this is actually a great way for you to get a bird's eye view of the work that folks are doing. I'm going to go ahead and save this view so I can come back to it. So this is what we have in our portfolios. I'm going to bring us back to the list view. This is where I will spend most of my time. This is where I will organize my work. This is where I will leave notes. I will show you one last thing you can do. You can go here and add a field. You can add a text field and add notes. If you're looking for a place to add just some freeform notes, and here we can have some notes here so that we can have our leadership see what's going on very quickly, and we can add some information. I hope you found this video useful. I hope you are able to see the benefits of Teams. You are able to see the benefits of portfolios, and I hope you start using them. I will create more videos, and if you subscribe to our channel, you'll be able to see those videos and you will stay updated. Thank you. Until next time, have a good one.